And I'm Mike Duffy, live at the picket line at Ford's Michigan Assembly Plant in Wayne. Here, nearly 2 weeks into the strike for members of the United Auto Workers Union, and there's no sign of a tentative agreement between the UAW and any of the Detroit 3 automakers. And more facilities could soon be targeted for strike. Earlier this afternoon, we learned that UAW President Shawn Fain is holding another live stream address Friday at 10 a.m. And just like last week, walkouts for any new locations announced would begin at noon the same day. Sources also saying that GM was heading to the UAW Solidarity House this afternoon for a meeting. Now, as you heard Carolyn mention at the top of the newscast, former President Trump will be in Clinton Township tonight. He's skipping the second Republican primary debate and instead talking to workers at Drake Enterprises. It's an automotive manufacturer that is not affiliated with United Auto Workers Union. We'll have more on this in a moment. The former president's visit coming on the heels of President Biden joining the picket line with striking workers in Belleville on Tuesday. It's the first time that a sitting president has stood on the picket line with workers. All of this comes as reality starts to set in for striking workers, tightening their belts, and living off that $500 a week strike pay. Now, the silver lining is that this is a very tight labor market, and local companies say that they want to help striking UAW members bridge the gap. So I've been talking to workers here on the picket line about their own economic realities. The nonprofit Hired in Michigan held a career expo Wednesday in Southfield, specifically reaching out to UAW strike workers.
We went out onto the picket lines and we met with lots of strike workers, and we understood the fact that they have strike pay, and we have employers that are here today that have positions available.
Many of the employers I tried to talk to were reluctant to go on camera, but told me they had positions available in the exact lines of work familiar to UAW strikers.
Temporary positions, full-time positions, contract positions as well, and many of the employers are open to those individuals coming and working with them even on a temporary basis.
Kayla Smith is a strike leader and Ford assembly worker on the picket line. What do you think about the fact that local businesses are trying to help you guys?
I think that's a great idea. You know, any help, we will take any help, okay?
I asked her if she'd consider finding additional employment if the strike drags on.
You might lose the strike pay if you're got a second job that's possibly paying you more, but it's like an either or type thing. You know we going on strike. You know what the requirements is.
She tells me 2 jobs is not uncommon.
Even working here, if we work in our regular hours still, like, you still might have another job, you know what I'm saying?
It's an economic reality Jermaine, who also works at Ford, knows too well.
I got a son and, I got to take care of him. I'm paying child support, so that don't stop, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to do what you got to do. You got to have side hustles that nowadays just to live.
Now the pressures are compounded.
It's times right now where you gotta worry about having food on the table than paying a bill. Right at this moment, a $500 check is pennies at this economy, how inflation is right now.
And unfortunately, the pressures are only expected to increase as that strike continues to go on. Now, as we wait to see about the possibility of more closures and more striking workers, that hardship will continue to spread throughout Michigan's economy and beyond.